Okay, say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Adinna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Kāmesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Musāvādā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Suramēraya Majjapamā Daṭṭhāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, Say sadhu 3 times. Okay, sit. Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhang Mang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhamma savana kālo ayang bhadanta Dhamma savana kālo ayang bhadanta Dhamma savana kālo Ayang bhadanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Panchahiko gahapati puttathānehi sāmikāna paccimādisā bhariya paccupaṭṭhā tabbā sammānanāya anavamānanāya Anaticariyaya issariya vossagena alankaranupadaninati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening, dear friends of Dhamma. Today we all are gathered here at the Mangala Vihara Buddhist temple to listen the Dhamma sharing, the series of Dhamma talks conducted during the Vassana retreat period 2024. Before starting Dhamma sharing, I would like to advise you to concentrate your mind with a short guided meditation session. So basically, before listening to Dhamma, we should be able to make our mind and body relax so that getting ready to listen Dhamma. Therefore, just think of the Buddha's image in front of you. Remind that the Buddha is in front of you, and then try to concentrate on the great qualities of the Buddha. While remembering the Buddha, just try to keep your body straight and your head straight. Relax your body, relax your head, and gently, with a compassionate mind, close your eyes. Try to relax your body from up to top of the head to the down. Relax your head, forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your nose. Relax your mouth. Relax your neck. Relax your two shoulders. Relax your middle part of your body and relax the lower part of your body. This body consists of three main parts: upper part, middle part, and lower part. Just try to concentrate and see what happens inside our body. While we are living inside the body, there is a big mechanism inside the nervous system, brain, and the other organs of the body are functioning. Just try to see inside your body. Try to concentrate and maintain one-pointedness over thinking of your outer and inner appearance of your body. Just try to concentrate your mind now. Take a long breath and hold it on for a while and then release. Continue the same practice 5 times. Take a long breath. While taking long breath, try to concentrate your nostrils. While practicing breathe in and breathe out meditation, just try to concentrate how you are breathing, and while breathing, air comes into our body through the nostrils, and just concentrate. Practicing this mindfulness meditation helps you to make your body relax, make your mind relax, and also maintain the memory power, and also cleans in our breathe in and breathe out process, which will be helpful for you to make your physical and mental body a very clean. Now gently open your eyes with compassionate mind to oneself and your neighbors, your nearest and dearest people, those who are in right side, those who are in left side, those who are in front of you and back to you, and those are in the universe. May they be well and happy. May they be well and happy. May they be well and happy. With that intention, gently open your eyes. Okay. Sadhu 3 times, please. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, today we are very happy to be here to listen to Dhamma sharing. We know that the Buddha, as one of the greatest religious teachers, introduced his sermons over 45 years with the compassionate to the people and also the beings, devas and every beings throughout the world. So today's Dhamma sharing is on maintaining a successful marriage and long-term relationships. As we all know, we all are in a particular society. Living in a society, we cannot survive alone. We are considered the human beings. So the human beings cannot survive alone. We have a group of people around us. And also we have some subordinates, superiors, as well as there are so many people surrounding us. Therefore, we are always, as human beings, we are maintaining our life with the peer group. That is the nature of the human beings. Actually, when living in such a way with others, it is very difficult to maintain harmony, coexistence, unity, as well as very difficult to maintain such kind of relationship. Nowadays we can see throughout the world, people always try to separate rather than being united. So the separation is very easy, but the uniting is the most difficult task. Therefore, in today's Dhamma sharing, I would like to make awareness and to teach you some kind of teachings elaborated in Buddhism, how to be united and how to live coexistence in a diverse society. According to the Buddha's teachings, the human nature is, humans are completely differ from one another because of their psychologically thought patterns, as well as how they behave, how they work, how they respond to others is completely differ from each other, right? Maybe you agree with me. Sometimes our feelings are different from each other. Our mentality, thought patterns are different from each other. Therefore, since we are having a very stratification among the members, among our peers, there should be a proper way of maintaining long-term relationships. Therefore, today Dhamma sharing is not only talking about how to maintain a successful marriage life, but also how to maintain long-term relationships is the main focus on today's Dhamma sharing. As you know, while we are living in the society, we should pay our attention on why this kind of righteous association, companionship is very important. You know, Once Venerable Ananda approached the Buddha and raised a question in front of the Buddha. As mentioned in Sangyutta Nikaya, a conversation took place between the Buddha and Venerable Ananda. Venerable Ananda asked, about half of this life consists in righteous friendship, righteous intimacy, righteous association. So that was the question. It means that a half of our life consists on, maintains based on friendship, righteous intimacy and righteous association. So then, replying to this question, Buddha mentioned that not only a half, but also the whole of this life consists righteous friendship, righteous intimacy and righteous association. It means that no one can survive alone in the universe, and everyone are depending on each other, depending on someone else. As an instance, we cannot come to this world without our parents' support. Can we? Cannot. Also, as an infant who came to this world cannot survive alone without support from our parents. Since they looked after us, since they grow up ourselves, then we were able to come to such kind of situation. So we all are interdependents. So therefore, Buddha mentioned that there should be a righteous friendship, righteous intimacy, righteous association entirely throughout our lifetime to maintain our life happy and without sorrow. So therefore, in living a particular society, there should be a close and the righteous companionship. So therefore the Buddha mentioned, that is why Buddha mentioned, you should have not only a half of your spiritual life, material life consists of the righteous companionship, but also the spiritual life as well as entirely it is on the basis of the righteous association. So sometimes we are meeting some friends in our childhood, but some of them have already lost, right? We don't have them so far. In our schooling period, we had some friends and companions. And also, when we are coming to some middle age, we have the peer groups. Most probably we meet people and they depart from them. So sometimes there are certain characters, the people who are maintain their relationships from a long period. We have some friends who are maintaining our friendship over 30 years, 20 years, something like that. So that maintaining that relationship, we should have a mutual understanding, mutual trust, and also mutual love and affection. And there should be a proper way of understanding each other. So then Buddha said that, so that maintaining such kind of lifelong, long-term relationships, there are certain things that is to be taken into consideration. I was able to find one of the very important point which is found in Anguttara Nikaya, Sutta Pitaka, Anguttara Nikaya, where we can see 3 qualities which are available among the good friends, good companions. How we find a suitable person to associate? Buddha said that there are two types of people. There are certain people who are worthy enough to suitable for association, while others are not suitable for association. How we can identify a good companion to maintain long-term relationship? Buddha has mentioned 3 points that should be possessed by a person who is possessed by these 3 points is suitable for associating and continuing long-term relationships. What are they? The first one, gives the things unable to give for the sake of the friend, which is called duddadang dadati. The Pali term duddadang dadati means one who gives the things unable to give for the sake of the friend is the suitable, most suitable person to continue our friendship. What does it mean? Normally, there are certain people who have disguised as the friends and companions, right? They just, only mere words, they try to say that I even dedicate even my life for the sake of you. When requesting something, what they do? Their response is nothing, or the escaping. That is not the way, right? So therefore, the suitable person to maintain long-term relationship is the first characteristic. The Buddha said that one who is able to give something which is not given by others is the first characteristic. And the second characteristic, Buddha says, does the things unable to do for the sake of others, the friend. Dukkharang karoti. Normally, we cannot sometimes waste our time, waste our money, waste our whatever that we have for the sake of others, right? Sometimes. So in a way that we need support or help, in such situations, one who come forward to do something for you, that is the person who is suitable for maintaining long-term associations. And the third one, Buddha says, dukkhamang kamati, bear the things unable to bear for the sake of the friends. Sometimes we have certain friends who are always try to, the quarrel in others with ourselves, right? They are always trying to pick in quarrels, but their heart is very good. Because of the love and affection, the intimacy, they try to make troubles to us. So that is the nature, right? But if we are not able to bear what they are doing, how they are responding, we cannot really understand who is he or who is she. Then in such a situation, really identifying the sorrowful situations, pleasureful situations, and different situations, we should be able to bear our companion, our friend, how he thinks, how he works, how he responds to our behavior or whatever, it is also very important. On the other hand, so that maintaining a long-term companionships, the Buddha has mentioned 7 factors the person should have 7 factors is recommended to associate as a long-term friend. The first three you know, as I mentioned earlier. The fourth one tells the secret, right? Why we need a friend actually? Why we need a very close companion? As a husband or wife or a friend, why we need? Because psychologically, no one can bear everything by oneself, right? When we have stress, when we have any kind of, the mental issue or the whatever the situations we are facing some difficulties, there should be a person who is listening to you and me, right? So he should be a trustworthy person, trustworthiness. So therefore Buddha said that one who is ready to listen our secrets is the good characteristic of a friend who needs to be associated. And the fifth one says, keeps the friend's secrets, right? Secret is secret. It means it is in between a kind of, secret is a kind of, exchange in between four eyes, 4 ears, right? If it goes to another one, fifth one, that would be a damage, right? Therefore, the keeping the friend's secret is another good characteristic. And the sixth one says, doesn't forsake when in trouble. When in trouble, they do not forsake the friend. Most probably, we have so many companions, friends, even some of the parents, even the wives or husbands sometimes, right? When we are facing a kind of trouble, they try to forsake. They try to remove us. And they try to keep us away. That is the nature. So therefore, Buddha said, one who is having these 6 factors, definitely such kind of person is worthy enough to continue with certain lifelong companionships. So basically with that introduction, I would like to elaborate certain Buddhist teachings which are related to the maintaining the lifelong and the long-term companionships. One is called, parents and children. We have a lifelong or the lifelong or the long-term relationships, right? As the teachers and students sometimes, wife and husband, even the employers and employees, we have to maintain a long-term companionships, right? So most probably in our family life, even in our house, in our home, most probably we need to maintain long-term companionships in our family life with the marriage, right? So then I would like to draw your attention on some of the Buddhist advices so that maintaining long-term, lifelong companionships with the marriage and the family life. Why we are having marriage? Because we need a companion, as I mentioned earlier, nearest and dearest person, so that share in our life actually. In this picture you can see the very beginning of the marriage. You may imagine the recently married couple, right? They always continue their marriage and their life with very happy and very close relationships. So what we have to understand is, after completing 50 years of marriage anniversary, if we are able to continue our life like this, that is the best way of continuing the lifelong or the long-term relationships. That is not only for the marriage, but also the general relationships. This is very important. Once one couple came to Buddha when the Buddha was resided in a monastery. They were known as Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita. The name Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita. They were 80th years old by the time. They were 80th years old by the time when they come to the Buddha. Then Buddha said, in front of the Buddha, once Nakula Pita, the husband, was about to, having affected some diseases, he was about to deathbed one time. It means that with a severe, what is called disease, affected with a disease. At that time, the wife, Nakula Mata, approached him, to the husband, and said, okay, sometimes you will die because of this suffering and this disease. But you have to remind something. What is it? You don't think any kind of, mental disappointed thinking that if you passed away, I will have to face so many issues with your death. You should not think in that way. Why? That would be disadvantage or the harmful to your next birth. Therefore, don't think in that way. Then she said that, I am okay with, I know some arts and crafts, then I can earn something. I can look after my children. But you don't think at least about how I can maintain my life when husband passed away. Why she advised in that way? Because she know that if the person, husband, passed away with such kind of mentality, with the kind of, the belonging or the craving or whatever the negative mental, with the negative mental situation, definitely that would be harmful for him, for his next birth. Therefore, she advised in that way. You don't think anything in that way. Then in front of the Buddha, after that they approached the Buddha, and in front of the Buddha, once the husband said, I am now in 80th years old. We got a marriage in our young age. All were in the same age when we got marriage. And then now we have passed so many years, and now both of us are in 80th years old. But still, we are maintaining a very close relationship with each other. I have never, the husband says, I have never said at least a single words against to my wife. And I have not committed any kind of, unwholesome behavior against him, against her. And we are uniting and we live together such a long time, but we are still, as the day we got married, the same as we are maintaining our relationship. Then vice versa, wife also Nakula Mata replied the same, informed the same with the Buddha. Finally, Buddha said, these are the two, the most exemplary marriage couple ever I have seen in the universe. Why? Because most of our relationships are, sometimes they are not long term, long lasting. Even the lifetime it doesn't happen due to certain reasons, right? Therefore, the Buddha said that there is a saying that, just after the marriage, they will continue their life in this way. After few years, that will be converted with some, adding children and some other ways, like it will be growing up to this level, right? Then after, sometimes that would be a very, a united, a kind of society, which will be developed into certain level, and like this. And then, what I wanted to say is, there is a saying that, when time passes, some other issues comes into existence. Therefore, the challenges for the lifelong relationships are basically, we can see so many challenges for the lifelong relationships. One is called gender-based violence. Both men and women, vice versa, they are having certain issues with those challenges. Now they are increasing day by day. Because of the verbal actions, we harass others, right? Most probably in the people who are coming to get the counseling, and when they are coming certain issues, what they are talking is, most probably, most of the challenging factor for their life is because of does not have a good behavior on one's own mouth. Due to the verbal, the talks, they are suffering each other, and they are affecting to certain problems in our life. Then sometimes they are going through the physical punishments too, right? Then that can be another reason for that. When gradually increasing those things, then it is developed up to certain physical punishments. The Buddha said that one who is always like to maintain a very happy, calm, and harmonious life, whether they are wives and husbands, or the friends and companions, or the parents and children, there should be a proper way of managing one's own life through the Buddha's teachings. So let me elaborate certain psychological phenomena, men versus women, according to Buddhism. Why people are attracted to each other? You may rate yourselves first, right? If you are fallen into a love, you may imagine why you love your husband or wife or the companion, right? The Buddha said there are 8 factors. So everyone are attracted to each other because of these 8 factors. What are they? Number 1, rupa. Rupena means appearance, right? Because of the physical appearance, I like him so much. Normally we say in that way, right? Or there are certain cases like, hasitena, laughter, because of the smiling, right? Someone may like for smile. I like your smile. Something like, some people say like that. Then bhanitena, speech. For the talkativeness or the whatever the way of speech, right? Then Geetena, singing. Singing means how they are, what is called melodiously talks, right? Melodiously talk something. Melodiously voice. We are attracted to each other. The way of they are continuing their talks and so on. Then there are certain situations like runnena, like tears, right? Because of falling tears like, crying over to make him one's own partner. Then Buddha said, akappena, attitudes, because of I like not any kind of other factors, but only for his or her attitude. Since he or she has a good set of attitudes, I like that. Right? There are some people who are selecting one's partner by considering that. And the next one says, vanabhangena, garlands. Garlands means for the sake of the money or the property or the presents given, right? There are certain cases they were attached to, otherwise they were attracted to each other because of the presents given, because of the money he or she has, or the property he or she has, right? And the passena, the last one says contact or touches, right? How they are maintaining their physical relationships. Are there any other factor that could be influential for attracting each other? Nothing. We all are attracting each other because of any kind of these 8 phenomena, right? According to the Buddha's teachings. Either appearance, laughter, speech, singing, tears, attitudes, garlands, or the property or whatever, touches or the contacts, right? We are having attracted, bound by each other, any of these 8 factors according to the Buddha's teachings. Buddha said, attahi bhikkave akarehi puriso itting bandhati. Puriso itting bandhati means the man bound by the woman because of any kind of these 8 factors. There may be more than one, right? Sometimes. That depends on how our thought patterns are going on. It means that according to the Buddha's teachings, psychologically, men and women are attracted to each other because of the same psychological reasons in that way. On the other hand, there is another discourse which is called Matugama Sangyutta of Sangyutta Nikaya Purisa Sutta. There are 5 powers of a man. There are 5 powers of a man. A man who possesses these 5 qualities would attract to women. Buddha said that. The first one says, Rupavacha hoti, being handsome, right? That is because of the outer appearance. And Bhogavacha hoti, being wealthy, by considering the wealth, property he or she has. Silavacha hoti, being virtuous. Being virtuous is a kind of power that should be possessed by a man. And Dakkacha hoti analasa, being skillful, not being lazy of any kind of activities, right? One should have been skillful and not being lazy. And pajanchassa means possession of child. That is also a kind of power that should be possessed by a man according to the Buddha's teachings. So when these kinds of powers are available, that would be a reason for women to attract the men according to the Buddha's teachings. Then further, this is a very good point for the ladies. They also have certain, powers, right? So what are they? Rupa Bala, the power of beauty. Why Buddha has mentioned about the beauty for both men and women? What is the reason? As earlier pointed out, Rupena. So the people are attracted to each other for the appearance, right? So that is also very important. That is a kind of bala. Bala means power according to Buddhism. And Bhoga Bala, power of wealth. Jnati Bala, power of relatives. Putta Bala, power of sons. It means the children. And Sila Bala, power of virtue. Being virtuous is a kind of power for a woman, right? So the women who are having those 5 types of powers, they do not fall in their life and deteriorate their life, and they continue a very good life and a happy life during their period. The Buddha said that Rupa, beauty, wealth, relatives, children and virtue are 5 types of powers that should be possessed by women. On the other hand, another discourse mentioned that the lady or the woman who possesses the following qualities would be born in heavenly places. What are they? Saddhocha hoti, being faithful, right? One who has faithfulness, saddha. Saddha means the faithfulness. And the hirima, being shy to do bad. Being shy to do bad, unwholesome deeds. Uttappicha hoti, being fear to do bad. Akkodanocha hoti, being friendliness. It means the one who does not get angry, right? For the ladies, this is very important, right? It is not good to get quick angry and work with hatred, right? Why? It is an obstacle for having a heavenly pleasure hereafter. Then akkodanocha hoti means being friendliness, which means away from hatredness, right? It is not good to take angry. And the panyavacha hoti, being intelligence, right? It means that when making decisions, there should be a way of understanding and making decisions wisely in different situations. So the Buddha said, one who maintains, practices these 5 types of, 5 types of qualities, the Buddha said that would be beneficial for him to be born in heavenly places hereafter. Being faithful, shy and fear to do bad, and being friendliness and intelligence, right? These are the 5 great qualities. On the other hand, most probably we are talking about the ladies, women, right? They have to do their duties. They have to work on their duties. They should do their responsibility. Why men? Why they should normally in a particular society, especially in Asian countries, right? Always they try to point out the ladies, not the men. Whatever the men did do, do not focus much attention, right? So Buddha said that it is not reasonable. Once Buddha pointed out that 5 reasons why men should mercy towards women. Mercy means why men should maintain their, friendliness towards women because of 5 reasons. Another word we can say like, why husband should treat her wife very well with the kind-hearted, merciful way as well as the compassionate way. Always should try to understand why and what are the reasons. The Buddha mentioned that one of the discourses known as Avenika Dukkha Sutta of Samyutta Nikaya states that 5 modes of inherent sufferings have to be faced by women. Why they are called inherent sufferings, Avenika Dukkha? They are not faced by men at all, right? They have no face such kind of situations and the sufferings in their life. What are the 5? Number 1, with the marriage, women have to separate from their relatives, right? So with marriage, normally in the societies, what people do is, we fetch the wife to the one's own house, right? Then we are not thinking, as the men, we are not thinking much about that. We feel that it is very simple task. Even the, fetching to one's own house is a very simple thing. Is it simple? No. While we are fetching one's own wife to one's own house, we just forget that she has to forget everything, all the relationships with her own relatives, even the parents, siblings, one's own relatives, right? Buddha said that is a kind of suffering. They are facing much difficulties in their lifetime. Are you agree with that? Yes. Leaving one's own relatives is a very difficult task. But normally, the men do not practice, like experience that, right? Most probably. If they do that, they will really understand how difficult is it. Right? Buddha said that is a kind of inherent suffering. And the second one, monthly they have to face the menstruation, utuni hoti. Right? No man can experience that. How is it? How difficult is it? And third one, the pregnancy, gabbhani hoti. Right? Men never experience that such kind of, inheritance suffering. That is not an easy task. Even I suggest you, when you are talking to your children, just inform them how hard delivering a baby, how hard, keeping the pregnancy and keeping the child in one's own womb, right? How is it difficult? We have to impart and inform our children also. Then what will happen is, it will be, sometimes it will not give you a kind of, advantage, but it will be helpful for him to be a very compassionate mind towards his wife one day, right? That such kind of, experiences, the things. Like, the fourth one, delivering babies, vijayati, right? And the fifth one, serving the husband. That is also not an easy task, right? Normally in particular societies, most probably, husband think that all the household duties are the duties of the wife. They have to wake up early in the morning. They have to cook every day. They have to wash the clothes. It is their duty to clean the houses and so on, everything. Right? Husband maintains a very good, comfortable life. That is a kind of, the mentality that the society has developed. So the Buddha says that even though it is, now Buddha has given these teachings in a society where there was a patriarchal form of society, right? Where the male dominant society. Therefore, he had a good experience in that society itself. So the serving the husband means doing the household activities properly. So what does it say? They have to think of that point and they have to mutually support each other to continue household activities. So here there are some young people, right, who have already got married and who are expecting to get married in the future. Then they have to be taken into consideration, all these points. The Buddha said that these 5 are considered inheritance for the women, not the men. Men never experience all those things, right? Therefore, the men should always cultivate the compassionate mind, merciful mind towards the women, according to the Buddha's teachings. So this understanding is very important. Why? Because since we are not keeping all these things in our mind, we just think that women also, they are equal to ourselves. We may maintain the same position in the particular society. So there is a statement that, right, women are going to work after work. What does it mean? Just go to work early in the morning and then after work, right, leaving workplace, again going to work at home. Just after reach home, again start duties at home. Right? It means that they never give up. They don't have a kind of, freedom, always working and working. So that is what the Buddha pointed out. Even the Buddha mentioned that. So that understanding is very important. So most probably, why the mutual relationships are breakdown in particular family life? The reason they are not really understand the real nature and what we have to understand, right? The Buddha said that, therefore Buddha mentioned in this sutta, always men should taken into consideration all these things, and with that they have to compassionate towards their wives. Not only the wives, especially for the women folk, right? It is a very good, idea that has to be inculcated. Then once, there is a very important discourse which is found in Anguttara Nikaya, which is called Pathama Sangvasa Sutta. Sangvasa means living together. The discourse on living together, right? Basically, in this sutta, Buddha has clearly mentioned how a successful marriage life can be continued, right? By using similes, Buddha pointed out that there are 4 types of marriage couples. There are 4 types of marriage couples in the universe, in the society. The first one, look at the first one. Corpse-like man lives with a corpse-like wife, right? Chavo chavaya saddhing sangvasati. Corpse-like man means a kind of, dead person. The man and the woman are equal to a dead person, dead bodies like. And the second one, a corpse-like man lives with a goddess-like wife. The man or the husband is a kind of corpse-like, and the wife is a goddess-like wife, right? Goddess, right? And the third one, a god-like man lives with a corpse-like wife. The man is equivalent to a god, but the wife is a kind of corpse, like, dead person, dead body. And the fourth one says, a god-like man lives with a goddess-like wife. Just imagine which marriage life would be successful. Which one would be successful? The first one? No. Second one? No. Third one? No. Fourth one? Yes. Why? Why fourth one is appreciated even by the Buddha? What are the reasons? Why Buddha has elaborated this kind of idea? What does Buddha use as a simile? Who is the corpse-like man and corpse-like wife? Buddha has clearly mentioned the characteristics they have. Either husband or wife kills living creatures, like, who has no compassionate mind and behavior. Who steals, commits sexual misconduct, who tells lies, telling lies, and uses alcoholic drinks, unethical behavior, of bad character, living at home with his heart full of the stain of stinginess, abusing and insulting ascetics and Brahmins. Right? Buddha said that those who are having those characteristics, they looks like male Shombi lives with the female Shombi. Shombi, you know the meaning, right? A corpse-like man lives with a corpse-like woman. It means if they have unethical, unwholesome, if they commit unethical way, unwholesome deeds, that is the nature of the deterioration of the lifelong relationships. The Buddha mentioned that. So those who away from those, what is called bad behaviors, those who avoid unwholesome deeds, unwholesome behaviors, that would be equivalent to a god or goddesses, according to the Buddha's teachings, right? One who is avoiding killing creatures, avoiding stealing, committing sexual misconduct, telling lies and whatever. So that would be the reason for being as a god and goddesses. Buddha said that in this, the discourse, Buddha has clearly mentioned that whenever a god-like man meets with a goddess-like woman, their life would be very successful, right? Their companionship, relationship will be tightened, will be very strong because of the great qualities that they have maintained, according to the Buddha's teachings. So the Buddha said that, then how to tighten in relationships then? Buddha said that when both are faithful and bountiful, disciplined, living righteously, then wife and husband say nice things to each other. It means the pleasant words, right? That is also very important. faithful to each other, bountiful, discipline in front of each other, living righteously, avoiding the wrong ways of living, and talking to each other lovely words. For talking lovely words, there is no age, right? No matter what the age is. Even in the 80th years can, right? Just as the, the period where we were loving each other, right? We can maintain our lovely words. That is very important. Buddha said. People think that they are, they are only for the young people, right? No. They are everlasting, lifelong even, right? So the Buddha said, so that maintaining our relationship tightening and the stronger, that is very important. So that is what the story of Nakula Mata and Nakula Pita pointed out. Then the Buddha said further, they get all the things they need. So they live at ease. Their enemies are downhearted when both are equal in ethics. What does it mean? Others always do not want us to be united. At the very beginning I said, most probably others try to separate us, right? Rather than uniting, collaborating, maintaining the, coexistence, peace and harmony. Enemies like us to be, right? Of us to be separate. But what we should try to do is, we should try to get united. So the Buddha said that when we are getting united and maintaining very successful, harmonious life, the enemies are downhearted. Downhearted means they are disappointed, but they cannot win over by separating us, right? That is not only for the marriage, family life, but also all the units, social units in the society, even the companions, peer groups, that is a common law, right? So that is what the Buddha pointed out. So the Buddha said that there should be 4 equal qualities that should be inculcated by both wives and husbands, as well as both friends and companions. What are they? Sama saddha, right? Equal in confidence. Sama saddha means equal in confidence. They should trust each other. They should maintain trustworthiness. Once when I am teaching this lesson to a class, once one student raised, Bhante, do you have personal experience? Then I said no. Then raised a counter question, how do you say all these things like you have personal experience? I said, normally we meet so many people and when they are bringing questions for us, we just really understand what is the real nature, right? Then we can put all these teachings into that bucket. So the same as we have personally experienced ourselves. So then, what is called the first one? The equal in confidence, right? Trustworthiness. Then the sama sila. Sila means virtue. Equal in virtue. Both should try to continue virtuous. And sama chagas. Chaga means the liberality. Right? We meet some people, right? The husband is very interested in practice generosity, but the wife does not allow, right? No equality, right, in generosity. Then after being home, they will fight each other. Because mismatch, right? Now in particular Sri Lankan society and the other societies, there is a system of matchmaking, right? You know? I don't know whether it is practiced here. But in our society, we have a practice of matchmaking. The horoscope readers, they always try to matching when a girl and a boy to get married. I think it is about 20, right? 20 factors are available which has to be matching each other. Then by reading the horoscope, he gives the percentage, 60% okay, 70% okay, right? Sometimes below 50. They believe that there should be at least 70% so that maintaining the marriage life a very successful one. By the Buddha's time, there were no such matchmaking practice, right? So Buddha said only the 4 factors that should be matched, right? Matchmaking based on 4 factors. What are the 4? Samasaddha, equal faithfulness. Samasila, equal, virtuous. Samachaga, equal generosity. Samapanya, equal, wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, right? If one is not equal to each another, definitely there may be certain mismatch. That mismatch will make a kind of many troubles in our life. So even our companions, friends, associating our friends, that matching factors are very important, right? If we don't have those 4 factors, we cannot continue our friendship as well. Because it can be harmful to that. Then Buddha said, further Buddha has explained in Sigalovada Sutta that a husband take care of his wife by practicing 5 ways, right? This is very important. This is for the husbands. And those who are expecting to be husbands, right? You should remind these 5 duties you have to perform for your wife and future wife or future wife. Showing her respect, right? Showing respect is not the bowing down whenever the wife sees, right? That is not that way. What does it mean? Always, when talking to her, when working with her among the peer groups, among one's own friends and companions, in the public society, right? Always should try to respect one's own wife because she is the lifelong partner, right? Marriage is not for a short period. One can do like that, but basically when we are signing, we just predict that we will continue up to passing away. Even Nakula Mata and Nakula Pita story says, they asked the question from the Buddha, whether we can become both of us, whether we can become the husband and wife even in our sansaric life, next life also. You see how their expectation? The Buddha said, yes, you can. If you practice those 4, Saddha, Sila, Chaga, Panya equally, then you can become the husband and wife even in the next life also, right? The Buddha's story, like, Bodhisattva. Prince Siddhartha got married with the Yasodhara. Their lifetime, sansaric lone companionship, right? they had wife and husbands all own time. Not this life, but earlier, previous lives too. That is because of practice in those four, right? I heard some people said, oh, never, I don't want that such a person to meet in my sansaric life. Even some wives also say like that. Husbands say like that. Why? They have not practiced those four factors, saddha, sila, chaga, panya. When they avoid those things, it will be, they may think in that way it is justifiable, right? So the Buddha said that is not. The second one, being courteous towards her. Then being faithful to her without, committing adultery or whatever. Handling over authority, household management. Most of the husbands are doing that very well. They give all the handling over, managing the household activities are given to the wife, right? That is what I mentioned. They think that is their duty. But that is completely, the authority is not given, right? Most important, valuable things are one's own, but just give the duties to do. That is not the best way, right? Buddha said that the duty, handling over authority, household management. And the last one is very important, providing her with adornments, right? Generally, naturally, ladies are very interested in having, garlands or the so many, such jewelries or whatever the things, right? When wife asks, don't try to fight with her. Why? That is her nature. That is her nature, right? So that is the nature of the female or the women. That is, why Buddha mentioned in that way in this sutta. So the one way of making her happy is giving and try to make her happy by giving what she likes, what she interests, right? Maybe what you are giving is, it might be, may not be certain valuable thing, but only a simple thing, she can be happy. We can do in that way, right? The Buddha said that is very important. Sometimes, people do not think these very slight things sometimes, right? They are very simple things. But people not taking them in advance, they just try to avoid these things. But should try to understand the nature first. And then very easy to tackle with such kind of people. According to the Buddha's teachings, those are very important. Then the duties of the wife. Most probably Buddha has given so many advices to the wife rather than the men, husband. I don't know why. Right? There are so many discourses. Performing her duties. The household activities, right? Then showing hospitality to relatives of both sides, men, husbands and wives, both sides, right? Relatives, they have to be taken care of them equally. If wife always treat only one's own party, one's own relatives, there may be a mismatch, right? Husband will not agree with that. Then they will fight each other. Finally, that would be the reason for the divorce. So this is very important, right? Then being faithful to him, watching over the goods he brings home, should not waste what the husband is earning, right? Nowadays both are earning, therefore there is an issue with that. However, whatever the earn should utilize wisely. and discharge in all her duties with skill and industry. Household activities, they should be do in that way. So the Buddha said that a wife who is performing one's own life in this way, that would be a great way for forwarding the life to a very happyful place. On the other hand, there are so many discourses where we can see Uggaha Sutta. I am not going to discuss all these things in detail. Uggaha Sutta mentions that, get up early before the husband is the duty of the wife. Right? And go to bed after him. It means that, why it is mentioned in that way, the household management is completely on the hand of the wife, right? Then even then she has to consider whether all the doors are closed, windows are closed, and the security verification, after verification of the security and by completing all the duties and so on, she has to go to sleep, right? So that is that idea, not go to sleep after the husband sleep. That doesn't say in that way, right? Then examine her duties, behave well, speak well, serve the husband's parents, clergies, teachers, respect them, offer them, arrange seats, arrange water to wash their feet and whatever, right? That is how there are so many things related to that. So support the husband's duties, construct the household activities, arrange all the ceremonial activities, know what should be given and should not give, what should be given to the husband's servants. Attend the patients and serve them with foods. Protect the husband's gold, silver, jewels, money, and never steal them. They do that very well, right? They always protect them by keeping inside. So what this mention, each and everyone should understand one's own duties so that maintaining very close relationship. Within few minutes I'll say another, one of the most important discourses, which is called Sattabhariya Sutta. In Sattabhariya Sutta, Buddha says there are 7 types of wives. 7 types of wives. What are they? Slayer-like wife, Vadaka Bhariya. Robber-like wife, Chora Bhariya. Mistress-like wife, Sami Bhariya. Mother-like wife, Matu Bhariya. Younger sister-like wife, Bhagini Bhariya. Companion-like wife, Sakhi Bhariya. And servant-maid-like wives, Dasi Bhariya. There are 7 types of wives we meet in not in this life, but also in sansaric life, right? There may be different types. Out of these 4, Buddha has not appreciated first 3, while appreciating the last 4 have highly appreciated. Matu Bhariya, Bhagini Bhariya, Sakhi Bhariya, Dasi Bhariya. Those 4 types of wives are very highly appreciated by the Buddha because, they are the virtuous wives. Look at the characteristics, Vadaka Bhariya, slayer-like, with a mind full of hate and no kindness. Don't fight with your husband or wife after being home, saying that Vadaka Bhariya, right? Full of hate and no kindness, lusting for others, looking down on her husband, right? In such a way, there are certain wives which comes under this category. Then the second one, A woman's husband earns his wealth by focusing on a profession, trade or farming, and even if it's only a little, she wants to take it. Like, the theft, stealing. Mistress like wife. She is an idle glutton who doesn't want to work. Her words are harsh, fierce, and rude. She rules over him. Him means husband, though he rises early. You see? Though the husband rises early, she always tries to rule over him, control him, just as the husband itself, right? Then that is not the proper way. Wife should be wife, husband should be husband. So that is what the Buddha said, not giving the equal position, but giving the right position. Keeping them, each other right position is the Buddhist advice. Therefore, the most of the Buddha's teachings clearly mention in that way. This one, Matu Bhariya, she is always caring and kind, looking after her husband like a mother looked after her child. She keeps the wealth that he has earned secure. The nature of the mother-like wife, right? She always caring, sharing, and kind-hearted towards the husband. Then younger sister-like wife, that is also appreciated. She respects her husband as a younger sister respects her elder. Alright, conscientious, she does what her husband says like. Then Sakhi Bariya, just as delighted to see him like one reunited with a lost friend, right? Always just seeking the wife. And so on, there are so many advices given in Buddhism. So what is all these advices given? The Buddha wanted to mention how to maintain a long-term, when maintaining long-term relationships, these points are very important. So, these 10 points are very important for a wife to maintain her happy life. Do not carry indoor fire outside. What does it mean? Indoor questions should not share with outsiders. Indoor problems, right? Family problems should not share with outsiders. Sometimes as gossiping, just mention everything with others. That would be a reason for making more questions, more problems. Also said, do not carry outdoor fire inside. Others' problems should not take into one's own house, one's own household. It means do not try to match with others. Do not take others' problems into one's own house. And give only to those who give. When you lend money or whatever, if you exchange something, you should give only to those who give, right? Those who return. So otherwise, that would be a reason for picking quarrels, making problems. Then do not give to those who do not give. That is like, the beggars. Just try to practice generosity. There are certain situations like, we give someone without expectation, like the beggars or the relatives or the what is called for the sake of religion or whatever, right? In such situations. Give to those who give and don't give. It is a kind of, the practice like, doing duties. Without expectation, we help others, our own relatives, our own parents sometimes, right? If they give, it's okay. Otherwise, without expectation, we can. Then said, sit happily, eat happily, sleep happily, and so on. Just continue your lifetime very happy with your day-to-day life. and tend the fire. It means that just continue your household activities properly and honor the household divinities. Who are the household divinities? For one's own husband and the parents, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and one's own relatives as well, right? Elders. So always honor them, pay respect and venerate them as by considering household divinities, right? That is what the Buddha mentioned. Therefore, all these are some of the advices given in Buddhism so that maintain in a very successful marriage life. Even these are not for the marriage life. Earlier I emphasized that. For the parents, children as well, in a particular family, that is very important to practice all these things, right? Then, if everyone, each and everyone responsible for identifying one's role and duty, roles and responsibility, if they try to identify what I have to do and what should I not do, right? Do's and don'ts, then they can maintain their companionships, their friendships and their marriage life very successful way. The Buddha mentioned that. So all these teachings are for the united, for the sake of being united, not for the separation according to the Buddha's teachings. Therefore, that is the things that I wanted to share with today's Dhamma sharing. So I hope that you learn something and you added some value to your life so that continue your life a very happy and very fortunate life ahead. So we all are expecting to have a very happy life, right? Luxurious life. Even we are not welcoming any kind of questions or the problems for our life, right? Isn't it? Yes, right? We don't want to have bother with many questions or problems. Therefore, we are always try to have a very happy life. So that continue as a happy life, these advices are very useful and you may continue with these advices according to the Buddha's teachings and just try to do good and try to be good. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. 5 minutes for the questions.
Sorry?
For 5 minutes for questions.
5 minutes for Q&A. Anybody got any question?
Okay, let us transfer merits to the deities that we invited at the inception of today's Dhamma sharing, and may all the divine beings rejoice with the merit and may they be well and happy, and may all the departed ones rejoice with the merit that we accumulated. May their sansaric existence, life be free from suffering, free from calamities, free from all dangers, and may their life be successful. May they be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanang. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddha pacayino cattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sukhi hotu.